WUSA9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
This special edition, winter weather edition of WUSA9 News begins on the Weather Watch. You're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol there as the D.C. region sees its first major snowfall in nearly 2 years. People, of course, are excited to get outside and see it for themselves.
We love it. I came out to record a little promo video for Instagram in the snow. It's a good time.
What about you? What do you think of the snow?
I'm from California originally, so I woke up and looked out the window and was so excited.
Yeah, is this your first time you've seen snow?
No, but it's still just as exciting.
Good to see their smiling faces, right? Having fun. By the way, we aren't the only ones seeing snowy conditions. Take a look at the view from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Looks like a winter wonderland out there. More than half the country, by the way, grappling with freezing temperatures.
It all looks pretty, though.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for being here with us at 5 o'clock. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. You know when weather is the big story, this team goes all out. We have reporters in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. They're tracking conditions right where you live.
Yeah, but first we need to start with the team behind D.C.'s most accurate forecast. The chief topper shut-in meteorologist Caitlin McGrath are standing by for us. Top's out in the weather center, Caitlin out on the weather terrace. Caitlin is in the studio with us. Top, there is another round of snow heading our way, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it's here right now, and it's just going to get a little bit heavier as we go through the evening hours. I posted this earlier, Zoe, but it's actually a pretty dry snow by DC standards. So you can actually brush it if you don't want to shovel it. And I would recommend doing that now. Since we were out here about 3 o'clock, maybe another half an inch has fallen. And temperatures are still mainly in the 20s. So it's going to be a pretty dry snow. I guess that's some good news. Okay, let's talk about our snowfall map. Okay, because essentially we haven't really changed this. We brought the 1 to 3 inch band down a little further south and east. So essentially it's a snow event for the entire most of DMV. And 1 to 3 inches, could someone have 3.5 and round up to 4 inches? Sure, but I think it's going to be a general 1 to 3 inches. We're not going to see any heavy bands of snow develop today. We're just going to see essentially some moderate bands from time to time. And the heaviest snow will fall from now until about midnight or 1 o'clock. Not to say you couldn't see a couple flurries or light snow tomorrow morning, but the bulk of the precip in terms of accumulating precip will be in the next few hours. So here's the wide radar. And if you look at the blue there, you see that's those are the heaviest bands of snow, all right? So we see the white, and that's snow, but these right here, these are the heaviest bands. And notice they're kind of staying south of us right now, and that's going to be something we're going to watch. Because I think you folks like in southern Maryland, you guys may have the best chance, or just east of I-95, Caitlin's been talking about that, may have the better chance of more snow. So we zoomed in a little bit more. And again, let's last couple of hours. Last image just updated like 2 minutes ago. Heaviest band down toward Richmond, but still some snow in the metro. Farther north and west you go, ironically enough, the less snow you're going to have. Now this is a brand new image, and there's some pretty good bands going through the district in the last 30 minutes or so. Notice the blue, but notice up toward Frederick and Shepherdstown and Leesburg, not a lot going on right now. We'll zoom in again, and this is pretty good snow down toward Dale City and down toward Quantico. So you want to see the blue if you want to see some heavier snowfall. That's what we're talking about in terms of heavy snowfall. Well, I shouldn't say heavy because it's not going to be heavy, but moderate snowfall. Let's say that. All right, let's talk about some tips here. So if you're going to go out tonight, maybe you're already at a game, or if you don't have to do this tonight, you can do it tomorrow because you have to go back to work tomorrow. Check your windshield wiper fluid. You're going to be cleaning it constantly with the refreezing and melting and refreezing next few days. Have a scraper or a brush, and then dress warmly with boots, and in case you have to walk somewhere. You don't know what's going to happen. Just be prepared. At least have them in your car anyway. All right, so where are these bands of snow going to go over the next few hours? Well, for more on that, we'll send it back in to meteorologist Caitlin McGrath. Chef.
Yeah, Topper, and the trend has definitely been to kind of hug the 95 corridor with that snowfall, and that's where I do think we walk away with those snowfall totals closer to 3 inches. We do have that winter weather advisory in effect for everyone through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So let's time it out here using Futurecast. As we head through the next hour or so, we start to see that heavier burst of snow pick up along the 95 corridor. So areas where you see that deepest shading of blue for D.C. down into parts of Prince George's County and Charles County, down through Fairfax and Arlington as well. The farther north and west you are, the less snow. We're actually expecting kind of the opposite of what you typically hear us talk about with the mountains walking walking away with higher accumulation. But we think most of this heavy band will be along the 95 corridor. This is 10 p.m. still tracking that moderate to even heavy snow at times. Could see snowfall rates around a ½ inch per hour. That's when most of this snow again will pile on by midnight. We'll still have that snow working its way through the D.C. area. By the time you wake up, I think we're left over with some more scattered light snow showers with, yes, radars picking up on a little bit of a mix in southern Maryland, but we think it's just going to be too warm. I think if there's any leftover precipitation in the morning, it will be in the form of light snow. Here we are 8 o'clock, so even though most of the snow and will accumulate later this evening, we could still see a few lingering snow showers as we head through Tuesday morning. As a lot of folks are heading back to work and school, you need to give yourself a few extra minutes. We are anticipating high impact to our local schools and, of course, those difficult road conditions. As the morning wears on, the snow will pull away, and we will shift our focus to our next chance to pick up some minor snow accumulation. Light snow looks to develop later Thursday night and last throughout the day to Friday. Kind of similar to this event, we've got cold air in place, and it looks like we could just see light precipitation throughout the day on Friday that ultimately could result in a coating to maybe 2 inches of snow. Keep in mind, it is Monday. This is just an early heads up for Friday that a prolonged period of light snow does look to accumulate as we head throughout the day on Friday. So we do encourage you to check back in here over the next several days, of course, as we track this weather watch alert and as we look ahead toward Friday.
See you soon, Caitlin. Thank you. Well, if you have to hit the roads this evening, it's best to take it slow. Give yourself plenty of extra time. Our team coverage continues with meteorologist Michaela Lucero. She is live in Eco9, and she's on Constitution Avenue near the Washington Monument. I can imagine just how beautiful the Washington Monument looks in the snow. I saw some of your Instagram pictures earlier, Michaela.
Oh man, Simone, it is beautiful. It really is a winter wonderland out here. Let me show you. We've got the Washington Monument here just to the right of me, and you can see, oh man, it's gorgeous. Let me see if I can get that camera to go just a little bit more up so you can see the whole monument. It sure is beautiful, but the roads are starting to get a little bit on the slick side, okay? Some of the snow is starting to stick to the roads. So we've got a little bit of a slushy mix out here, so make sure that you are slowing down if you are out and about, not only because of the slick roads, but also there are a lot of people out and about checking out the monuments, seeing them covered in snow. So if you are planning to come this way, make sure that you are taking it easy and you're looking around so we are keeping everybody safe. Also remember to turn on those headlights. If your windshield wipers are on, your headlights also need to be on, and be sure to clean off your car. We've seen quite a few vehicles out here with maybe just their front windshield cleared off, but the roof of their car and the back of their car are still covered in snow. Now that is dangerous for a couple reasons. Number one, that snow blows off of your car and it starts to impact the cars around you. And also when your back windshield is not cleared, you can't see out of the back of it, which makes that dangerous for you as well. So make sure if you are out on the roads for this evening that you are staying nice and safe and taking proper care of your car and slowing down, especially around areas where pedestrians will be out and about. You can see that look right in front of us now out front of Eco9. Those roads are wet and we are starting to see some of that snow starting to stick. We're going to continue to keep you guys updated about these road conditions out here around the National Mall. But for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio. Simone.
Stay safe out there. Some great pointers. And of course, we really appreciate the DC glamour shots. Live in a beautiful place. Michaela, thank you.
So the Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association. They used to have big snowball fights on the mall whenever it snowed a lot. Yeah, so they're apparently posting on Facebook saying there might be one today.
Love it.
So we'll see. Stay tuned, y'all. All right, and we continue. I know, so maybe that's why they haven't declared a snowball fight officially. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
No, it's being cold. No, it's going to stay dry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
next
cold.
time. Next time. Maybe next year.
Maybe next time.
All right, we continue our team coverage now with our Scott Broom. He is checking on conditions in Prince George's County for us tonight. Hi, Scott.
Hey, I'm glad to miss that DC snowball fight assignment because they always throw snowballs at the TV guy. So that's fine with me. I go with the road salt. Right? So Prince George's County's Department of Public Works and Transportation right here. There is plenty of salt to go around. Continuous light snow since about noon. They are busy here and ready for this storm. Almost 2 years since the last measurable snow here, and Prince George's County residents still know how to stock up at the grocery store at the first sign of snow.
I love it. We need at least 10 to 15 inches.
Oh, come on.
It will slow people down. Just think, carjackings will probably go to zero because they can't run.
We finally we're actually getting a good winter finally in the DC area, so I'm enjoying it. Long as it don't get too ridiculous, I can still want to go to work.
Mark Summers and his daughter Everly wondering about what will happen with schools tomorrow.
It's looking like it's a no-go as of right now. Looking at the weather and how things are going and the refreeze tonight, we looking like we'll stay home and enjoy some hot cocoa and some time together. Ain't that right, Bubba?
At the county's Department of Public Works and Transportation, lines of trucks were loading with salt throughout the day. The director here is Olusegun Olubenle.
And we haven't had a full operation since 2022. So today we're going to be bringing all contractors, all staff employees. Snow is not new to us, and a lot of our contractors and employees are veterans.
And all those veterans are already on the road. They're working two 12-hour shifts, so they've already been out. They're taking care of roadways here, Prince George's County. Here's about how much snow has fallen here since it all started. There's a big old 9 right there. We just turned this little Toyota into our next Eco 9 car. So that's not a whole ton of snow. It looks like about an inch. Here's a untreated surface. This is a parking lot here. You can see the snow has been melting off. Despite the cold temperatures, any place that's been salted in this county, things have been going pretty well. The streets are just wet right now. 1 to 3 inches of snow. The schools have still not made any announcements here in Prince George's County. So that's the situation where I am. Let's go over to Northern Virginia. My colleague Matthew Torres is keeping track of things on that side of the river. Matthew, how's it going?
Hey Scott, we also have not heard from school districts either, but I'm standing right now on the South Abington Street Bridge over 395 in Shirleyton, where you can see just how much snow has accumulated so far since this morning out on the road here on the sidewalk. But to my interstate here to the left, as far as conditions, it's looking okay for now, but of course that could change overnight. As snow falls,
today is really special to me.
The excitement is up for Kelvin Lee.
I'm from southern China. This is my first time to actually feel the snow and touch it.
At 25 years old, seeing snow in person for the first time is leaving a lasting impression.
Well, when my foot stepped on the snow, wow, you feel really soft. It's just like the rain. It feels really cold when it's falling down from my pole.
He's walking around Roslyn to bask in the wintry glory. Whether it's by scooter or rowing the Potomac River, it's a sight to behold. Even for truck drivers at this salt barn in Alexandria.
Some guys, they are excited about it because, after all, there is not much as activities goes on with the trucks.
It's the first significant snowfall event for crews in 2 years. The Virginia Department of Transportation is at it again, pouring salt brine on highways, primary roads, bridges, and overpasses starting Sunday. 12-hour shifts are back to clear roads before an overnight freeze.
We have the mechanical shop there if something goes wrong. Most of the trucks is almost brand new.
The National Park Service is also treating roads, including GW Parkway from Spout Run Parkway to 495. That means for now, those northern lanes are going to be closed off.
Wow, it's snowing.
But road problems or not, it's the beauty of snow that's caught Lee's attention.
I feel very happy about that.
All right, so back out here live, I want to show you here. This is what VDOT is sharing, the 511virginia.org website, where anyone can look at road conditions and click on cameras from VDOT. They're also asking anyone, if possible, to delay any non-essential travel. And if needed, they do have their snow plow trucks ready to go. In Shirleyton, I'm Matthew Torres, WUSA9.
And you gave us a great perspective just a moment ago. Looking over the bridge onto the highway, you can see it's starting to get icy out there. Matthew, stay safe. Thank you so much for your reporting. We appreciate it. Well, road crews have been going around the clock. They're trying to keep snow off the streets, and they're trying to clear accidents if they do happen. They also know the job isn't done. Melissa Kim joins us live from the D.C. Department of Public Works facility in Southeast. And Melissa, there's still a lot of activity going on there. Good evening.
Yeah, Simone, I want to pan over here. These are plow trucks, salt trucks ready to go here at any moment here outside of this salt barn in Southeast DC. And the Mayor Muriel Bowser, by the way, she has issued a cold weather emergency until Thursday. So that means if there are any seniors living by you, check on them. Make sure you check on your pets as well. Now, officials with the district's Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management say their crews that you've seen are out in full force. So that's about 200 pieces of equipment ranging from salt trucks to snow plows miles, and the main highways and roads were treated with a salt and brine solution this morning. So now you'll see plow trucks that are out, and they will be for the remainder of the evening as well as tomorrow. Now, if you are headed back to work or school tomorrow morning, some advice from the experts.
If you have to be on the roads, leave yourself extra time, drive carefully, drive slowly, and then before you leave, think about your own home and your flat surfaces. Put out abrasives so that the ice and snow has something to melt into over the evening and into tomorrow morning.
Now, we have been driving around D.C. pretty much all day, and the roads for the most part are very, very wet. So again, definitely heed that information you heard earlier. Take it slow, because we did see some cars get towed off of Rock Creek Parkway earlier near Beach Drive. So again, friendly reminder just to be careful out there. We're live in Southeast D.C. tonight. Melissa Kim, WUSA9.
We know our plow truck drivers have long shifts ahead of them tonight. We certainly appreciate it. Melissa, thank you.
All right, we got to get a shout out now to many of you at home, our weather watchers, for helping us monitor this winter storm, of course. Thank you to Kim Hunt-Gombert for posting these pictures on our Weather Watchers Facebook group. These were taken out in Reston, Virginia. Beautiful.
And, yeah, gorgeous. And take a look at this picture sent to us by David Danielian. This was showing some light snow out in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Just a little sheep in the foreground too there.
Oh, yeah.
Here's some pictures from early this morning sent out of Lorton, Virginia by weather watcher Christopher Seidner.
And you'll want to keep our WUSA9 app handy throughout the storm, and it's easy. You can download it now by pointing your phone's camera at the QR code. We'll send you updates as the forecast changes, so you won't even need to search for anything. And make sure to join us on air early tomorrow as we get you through this storm together. We'll be on the air starting at 4 a.m. Well, the weather did not deter folks from attending D.C.'s annual Martin Luther King Jr. Peace Walk. The parade route followed MLK Avenue in Southeast, lined with celebration, service, and gratitude. Here's Delia Gonsalves.
Faith leaders led the Coalition of Peace's annual walk down MLK Avenue. More than a parade, the ceremony is a reminder of the man whose life's mission shapes our collective goals and responsibilities. From the parents.
The mommy?
The soldiers.
Soldiers.
We've learned patience and how to not use violence to solve all our problems. There's always a middle ground to every situation. So I'm teaching him that, even though he's young.
Two community servants.
Yeah, we have some pears, we have some carrots, some apples.
And the young men of Martha's Table Global Passport Program.
This way he was born at.
Who traveled to King's Atlanta home, the Apollo Theater in New York, and this summer, Panama.
It give me different outlooks, because if you look at now DC, it's a lot of violence going on, and it give us time to get away and experience different stuff, better things like this.
Mighty, mighty black men.
He was once us sitting right here, right now. You hear me?
He believed that we should all be equals. Stay in school. Just don't try to be a follower. Just do your own thing, and just keep your head up.
The King's legacy says to me that every single person is worthy of dignity and respect, that together we can conquer any challenges that we face, that if I look beyond just what you look like on the surface and get to know your heart, that together we can actually create sizable and systemic change.
What side are you on, my people? What side are you on? We on the freedom side.
Folks hoping to continue the legacy and service and spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King long after this parade ends. In Anacostia, Delia Gonsalves, WUSA9.
Now, President Biden and Vice President Harris were also out to commemorate the holiday today. Vice President Harris spent the morning in Columbia, South Carolina. She gave the keynote address at the state's NAACP Martin Luther King Day event. Vice President Harris called on voters to stand up for freedom.
As Dr. King wrote in the letter from Birmingham jail, the goal of America is freedom. And so we gather this afternoon to honor his legacy. And I therefore pose a question that I do believe Dr. King would ask today. In 2024, where exactly is America in our fight for freedom? How we doing? Well, as Vice President of the United States, I'd say at this moment in America, freedom is under profound threat.
Yeah, tough to hear. Meanwhile, President Biden decided to get back in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He volunteered at Philabundance. It's a hunger relief organization that helps support many families really struggling to put food on the table.
Meanwhile, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was released from Walter Reed National Military Medical Center today. It comes 2 weeks after he was admitted for complications from prostate cancer surgery. The Pentagon says Austin will work remotely for a period of time before returning. His doctors say he is expected to make a full recovery.
All right, let's take a live look at the U.S. Capitol now. Tomorrow, the Senate could start debating on a short-term spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Certainly quiet and picturesque right now. Maybe not the case tomorrow. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Mike Johnson are pushing to keep the government open through the beginning of March. But House Republicans say they are not on board with this bill. If it's not passed, a partial government shutdown would start at midnight Friday.
The 2024 election will get here quicker than you think. And today, Republican candidates are campaigning in Iowa to get key approval that could determine the rest of the presidential race. Our Ariel Hickson is here with more. And Ariel, can you break down for us what we can expect?
Hours, we will get some key insight as to who will be on top for the Republican presidential nomination. In sub-zero temperatures and record-breaking snow, nothing will keep Iowans from trekking out and selecting their party's presidential nominee.
So the things that people want to go to in Iowa, they will go to regardless of the weather. If they don't show up to the caucuses, I think it's more an indication of lack of interest than it is the weather.
Iowa Republicans will have to brave the elements to attend meetings and show support for their selected candidates. So far, polling shows former President Trump is in the lead. Regardless, he wants Iowans to show up no matter what.
You can't sit home. If you're sick as a dog, you say, darling, I gotta make it. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it.
Historically, the Iowa caucus was a key event for presidential candidates to snag a presidential nomination. But since 1972, only 3 caucus winners have progressed to eventually win the presidency. In their final bids, GOP hopefuls told voters their voices today could determine the future of the election.
Don't complain about what happens in a general election if you don't play in this caucus. It matters. I promise you, our best days are yet to come.
Here in Iowa, you have the ability to change the trajectory of American politics.
The Republican Party is set to hold its caucuses tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to have to watch and see just what unfolds. Ariel Hickson, WUSA9.
Trump will come in first place, of course. He's winning in the polls, but who's coming in second? That's what we're watching for. Ariel, thank you.
WUSA9 Weather Watch is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
All right, look, school is out today, but we already have some closures.
Just love starting stuff.
We can have fun on Streamcast.
To these two. Guys,
you know, you get your snow, and this is what happens.
School
okay,
closure.
You're supposed to be happy
We're gonna
today.
get tweets.
Yeah, Simone has important things to say.
Oh, that's right. School closures, right? So
Thanks.
this is what you love. This is what you want to hear. We have Warren County, Culpeper County schools, Fauquier County schools, Shenandoah County, Frederick County, and Loudoun County schools all closed tomorrow. By the way, we do have that full list here online at WUSA9.com.
There we
I think
go.
it makes sense. I mean, it's going to be really icy tomorrow. The snow
Okay.
amount's not crazy, but it's going to be icy, and we're going to be probably below freezing until maybe 10, 11 o'clock or noon tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that list is going to get quite long.
Yes, and you said it's really coming down right now, what, like near Quantico?
Yeah,
Dale
down
City?
south.
Okay.
Well, and you know, the sooner we can get the cancellations out, the sooner we can communicate and people can plan. So
And
kids
I
won't have to
think-
put their PJs on.
And I think, right, and I think in most counties and jurisdictions, it's no longer they have to be online. I think they actually get a real snow day.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, look at that.
Remember those snow days, though, what that was like? Especially when you found out the night before.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
You're
Home
up
free,
late.
yeah.
You're eating
This is their
sugar.
first
holiday.
It's their first snow day in almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a
They
while.
deserve it. Enjoy.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you ready?
What do you got?
I'm going to show you the map and the radar, and Caitlin will come back and show us where everything is going in the next few hours. And really, I want to emphasize that, like, between now and like midnight, that's going to be the lion's share of our snowfall. We're still going to go 1 to 3. It's pretty much across the board. Yes, could some areas have, you know, closer to 4 inches? Yes. In fact, we think right around east part of 95 and into maybe southern Prince George's County and northern Charles County. Some of the bands could set up pretty heavy right there. And then a trace to an inch as you cross the bay and are extreme southern Maryland. But that's pretty much what we're thinking. So here's the radar. Widen this out. I got a buddy in Knoxville. He used to work in Knoxville. And they have really good snow going on right now. And this is just kind of like a conveyor belt. I mean, there's a surface low, but it is barely, the pressure is barely low enough to call it a low pressure, but it is. It's mainly just a southwest flow aloft that's bringing us some moisture. And that will continue for the next, 6, 7, 8 hours. And then it will just end up dry as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So we'll zoom back in. So the grayish, this is the base map color. You see that, you got nothing. You see this, you have light snow, and then you see the brighter white, that's a little better snow, but you see the blue, that's the heavier snow bands. And as Zoe was mentioning, down south 95, that's where the heaviest snow is, although some bands starting to set up through Montgomery County and back into Leesburg as you got Route 7. We'll zoom in here. Old Town, pretty good snow. Silver Spring, pretty good snow, but good snow down toward Dale City and down toward Waldorf. Now, when I say good snow, we're not talking an inch an hour, but maybe a third. I queried this, and that blue is about a third of an inch per hour, which isn't bad. And this is what I mean. Some of these have just set up now north of town, up toward German, kind of in between Rockville and Germantown, and also in between Albany and Laytonsville as you head out 108 toward Etchison. So, that's the thing. Now, everybody is under a winter weather advisory. That's across the board. And if you widen this map up, they go back to northern Louisiana and they go all the way up into Pennsylvania. So it's crazy. So things you should do before you go out tomorrow. So clean your car completely, please. Front, back, roof. Slow down, leave extra room, obviously, and then have an emergency kit in your car in case you have to get out and do some things. Maybe you have a flat tire or something. Have, a coat, scarf, boots, just ready. Now, where's all these bands of snow going to go? Here's meteorologist Caitlin McGrath. Chef.
Yeah, Topper, we still have several more hours to go before we get the last of the flakes out of here, like we've been talking about all afternoon. The worst of the weather expected now between now and about midnight. So let's take you hour by hour using Futurecast as we head throughout the evening. This is right around 7, 8 o'clock. You can really see Futurecast continuing to highlight the 95 corridor for that heaviest burst of snow. So while we do say widespread 1 to 3 inches, I think those 3 inches and maybe a few locally higher totals will be closer to 95. Now, as you're checking in with Topper at 11 o'clock tonight, he'll still be tracking this snow streaming through as we head into the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, I do think it becomes more scattered in nature, and Futurecast is picking up on a little bit of a mix through parts of southern Maryland, but Topper and I think it's just going to be too cold to see any kind of icing or any kind of rain. We think anything that is left over tomorrow morning will be in the form of snow, but Jonathan and I will be here helping to guide you back to work and school if you do not have school canceled already or throughout the morning. So here we are right around 8 a.m. still seeing a few lingering light areas of snow before we clear it all out of here by lunchtime tomorrow. So not only does it look like winter now, it feels like it as well. Now, we don't have any wind chill alerts in effect for our area, but you can see the entire middle part of the country either under a wind chill warning or watch. There is some dangerously cold air covering so much of the country, and while we are chilly, we're not that cold. Wednesday, I think, is when we bottom out with feels like temperatures in the single digits as kids are heading back to the bus stop Wednesday morning and throughout the afternoon. Even though we climb back into the 30s, still probably won't feel much warmer than the upper teens. Now, we're already looking ahead toward the end of the week for our next chance for some accumulating snow, and it looks kind of similar to what we're seeing right now. Really cold air in place, just enough moisture to bring a prolonged period of light snow that will start Thursday night and last throughout a good chunk of the day on Friday. This is the American model, and the European model is actually pretty similar with that area of light snow throughout the day on Friday, and when all is said and done, potentially picking up to coating to 2 inches of snow. So something to keep in mind as we head through the next couple of days. We'll be keeping you posted on the very latest for that Friday snow outlook before we turn brighter but colder for the weekend.
Thank you. Turning now to a story that many of you are talking about this afternoon. Fashion, of course, is always a big talker before and after